Hey guys and girls, it's me Subnay Rocket, and Shang Chi recently came out by the time of this recording and probably by the time you're watching this. But unfortunately, I can't watch Shang Chi yet considering that we're still in a bit of a lockdown right now. Again, for my country. Let me out! Let me out! Ow, my back. Oh, ow, eesh. So to compensate that, I decided to watch The Incredible Hulk since one of the main villains, Abomination, has set to appear in the movie. You get to see him a bit in the trailer, so I was like, hey, maybe this is the best time to finally watch The Incredible Hulk because I actually haven't watched it until now, seriously. The closest you ever get to me watching it beforehand was a Lego parody online or something like that. So yeah, this is pretty interesting to finally jump into this movie. So without further ado, let's get into it. Oh wait, before we actually get into the review, I kind of feel like it's best for me to announce a brand new style when it comes to me reviewing movies, mostly when it comes to movies that have been out for quite a while, like, you know, this movie right here. I kind of feel like it's best for me to remove anything related to a spoiler review when it comes to these kind of reviews because it makes it more accessible to a lot more people, and we will only get into a few minor spoilers, anything major that is going to be spoiled here. So yeah. You ain't gonna see the spoiler warning today, folks. So without further ado, let's actually get into it.
3, 2, 1.
Ready for liftoff, super dang rocket. Get ready for it. So to start off, I really like how this movie opens up and how they structure the story. Basically, at the beginning of the movie, you get an opening credits, but in the opening credits, you get a vague flashback of, you know, the Hulk's origin. So we don't waste time getting to, you know, Bruce Banner already having the Incredible Hulk inside him. And I really like that because, of course, people who, you know, back in 2008, I guess, really would want to just see the Hulk just in action and don't want to wait for, you know, a slower origin story to that. So this kind of makes up for that in a way, and for people who don't really know the Hulk, this kind of makes it like somewhat of a mystery, which can be pretty fun. It's like, you know, trying to get, you know, bits and pieces of what's going on slowly and slowly figuring out what exactly is going on with Bruce Banner and the Hulk. So I really like how they try to cater to both audience, both the people who know who the Hulk is and people who don't know who the Hulk is. I found it very funny though that they made it immediately clear that this is connected to Iron Man. Literally in the opening credits you just put there Stark Industries, and then after that Nick Fury. Seriously, I was kind of surprised with that because a lot of people associate Marvel for, you know, taking it slow with their cinematic universe. You know, bits and pieces first until you can really build the whole universe together. But here, nope, just immediately, yep, it's connected. Which makes me wonder how people in 2008 reacted to that. Wait a minute, that's Stark Industries. That's from Iron Man, that movie I watched a few months ago. Well, what's it doing here? This is Incredible Hulk. Well, I'm guessing maybe it's a fun reference. They're made by the same studio, but they can't be connected, right? That's a weird concept. What? How? Huh? Ah! Seriously, it just feels like those references are just suddenly kicked into your face. Although even though I really like how they managed to structure the story of Hulk in order to, you know, get to the good parts faster, unfortunately the actual story with, you know, Bruce Banner and, you know, his girlfriend Betty and stuff isn't really that interesting. I mean, sure, when it comes to a simple plot, you can do a lot of big things with it without going too crazy, but I kind of feel like it's too simple here. I kind of don't really feel that much. Maybe it's probably because we don't really see much of their, you know, relationship from the past to really care about, you know, their relationship, because they really focus on that in this movie. But yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. And it also doesn't help that, yes, I'm animated now, deal with it. And it also doesn't help that Bruce Banner doesn't have much of a character in this, which is a bit unfortunate since, you know, he's the main character, which is something they fixed later on when he appeared in Avengers, but it just makes the change of actors later on to be a bit more jarring than it has to be though. I can't get it out of me. What do I have to do? I'm out of options. I have something inside of me. Yeah, you know, I don't know what to do. But I still care more about, Betty and Bruce Banner's story more than, what was going on with technically our main villain being Abomination. Because his story arc is mostly just, I want to beat that guy. And that's it. Just wants to, challenge this big green monster to a fight and hopefully win. Clearly, this guy doesn't know the meaning of, pick on someone your own size. I kind of feel like General Ross is a more fitting villain in this because I kind of feel like I care more about his motivations and he seems more of a meanie than, good old Abomination is. And also, I kind of feel like he also makes a pretty good main character too because I kind of feel like he's the one character that I kind of feel like I'm the most invested in, surprisingly, when I was watching the movie because he was trying to cover, his incident with the Incredible Hulk up and, trying to blame it all on Bruce Banner. But then at the end of the movie, he kind of redeems himself and realizes, yeah, we're all responsible for this big mess and stuff like that, and it helps, Incredible Hulk, fight the Abomination. So yeah, they had a pretty good story arc for General Ross. Maybe that's why they kept him in the later movies. I don't know, this kind of feels like this movie should have been called The Incredible Ross. No, not you. Okay, maybe you can consider the story in this movie to be a bit meh, but what about the action sequences in this film? Because of course, people want to see the Hulk smash things. So, how are they? They're pretty good, to be honest with you. It's a bit unfortunate we don't get to see much of it. I don't think it's really enough for an Incredible Hulk movie. I mean, the first time we see the Hulk, it's all in shadow and he's just slowly running away, not really destroying things. Yeah, really riveting. But I don't know, maybe they don't want, innocent civilians getting hurt or, buildings getting destroyed, but although funny enough, all jokes aside, I guess you can say, I kind of feel like it could have been beneficial if Hulk got more destructive in this movie because since General Ross is in this movie and he's one of the main people who kind of explained to the Avengers in Civil War how much, their actions kind of hurt innocent civilians, I kind of feel like it would have been beneficial since, General Ross will have more of an initiative since, he witnessed it firsthand with the Incredible Hulk way even before the Avengers were ever formed, so it could have worked. Although I kind of feel like General Ross might want to forget the action sequences in Incredible Hulk, not because it kind of reminds them of this guy, it's mostly because even though they're pretty glorious, they're not glorious. Thanks to this guy. It's not because General Ross hates him. The main reason why I said that is because a lot of the scenes in this movie are very vibrant and dynamic, which I really like. But unfortunately, this movie has to remind us this was released in 2008 thanks to this little CGI monster. Because I really think they should have not made the Hulk, a very darkish green color because, with all the vibrant, colors that they use for the scenes, it kind of looks out of place and you can clearly tell it's a CGI model. And it's kind of apparent with the special effects, surprisingly, because it kind of feels like they get a pre-made special effect from YouTube and just green screen it onto the movie. That's something that you will expect from me, not a big movie like The Incredible Hulk. But even with that said, I kind of feel like this was at least a pretty decent Hulk movie to introduce, this big raging monster superhero to the MCU at the time. And I kind of feel like it kind of benefits a lot of the future movies in the MCU because one of the main plot points in this movie, even though it's very simple, is Bruce Banner trying to find a way to get rid of this big raging monster, but then at the very end of the movie he realized that maybe there could be some very good use when it comes to this big raging monster, and that couldn't be more clearer than when it comes to Avengers Endgame later on in the future. So with that said, alright guys and gals, thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, it's pretty nice to finally get back to doing movie reviews again. I've been working on that little Super Day Rocket special for quite a while, so it's great to be back to this little setup. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. It's also really great to finally watch this movie after so many years and actually give my, recent thoughts on it. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you enjoyed this little, a bit different style, I guess you can say. So yeah, until then, rock it on. Wait, I usually walk this way. Whatever. Oh yeah, as a little side note, I really like that this movie showcases how much we have evolved since the 1940s, because before, you needed a big capsule to get injected with the super soldier serum, but now all you need is two of those weird benches things you see in clinics and hospitals, getting sandwiched between them in order to get injected with the super soldier serum. Man, how far we've come. Oh yeah, since we're in a bit of an end credit scene, I guess you can say, it's a bit weird that this movie's end credit scene takes place after the movie and not after the credits. Yeah, I kind of feel like they could have easily done that, but oh well. And it didn't stop me from looking through all the credits afterwards. Yeah, look at those credits. Yes, soundtrack, my favorite song. It's right up there next to OST.